Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a bunch of friends get together and talk about games and video game related news with both informed and uninformed opinions, mostly uninformed. My name is Amy. I'm here with the wonderful Crit Chicken and Cajun, Nordic Cajun. Lumi is off tonight. He had life stuff. I think he just took the night off. So,
Yeah, he's got a
how's
big
everyone
movie.
doing?
Well, I almost forgot tonight was a night of nights because knitting.
See, that's why I gave you that appointment in your calendar.
I was not paying attention to that appointment in my calendar.
God damn it.
But
You can lead a horse to water, but you absolutely cannot make them drink.
yeah,
So, who wants to start off?
uh, Nord.
Yeah. Let me. Finish this last bite.
Nord's mouth is full, and you're like, here, you start.
Okay.
Let me put that
All
last
right.
bite of food in my mouth.
I'm gonna be short and sweet with this, though. I guess. So, you know how last week I was kind of talking about how my son called me a weeb by finding my dot hack Legend of the Twilight manga. He's like, I didn't know that you were this big of a weeb. And I'm like, oh boy, here
Yeah, I
we
remember that,
go.
yeah.
So on Monday, they had released a trailer for a dot hack game. It's the 30th anniversary. They previously had a 15th anniversary game for Recode, and you can actually find that on Steam. It's actually a 3-part game. um, but let me see what it was. I'm trying to see which, let's see, CyberConnect 2, the developer of that game, Last Recode, is going to be in total control of this one that's coming up called Dot Hack Zero. Bandai gave them permission to show what they got over 30 years of what they can actually crank out. So I'm kind of excited about that. Um, After seeing my manga and stuff like that and going into the lore a little bit, my kid seems pretty excited about that, especially with who um, that developer has been working games on about and stuff like that. So let's see, they've worked with Elden Rings, Dark Souls, Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, My Hero Academia games, Code Vein, Tales of Xillia, and all that other stuff, and Once Upon a Katamari. So they said that, whatever they learned in the past 30 years is all going to be compiled into the Dot Hack Zero 30th anniversary franchise game. So I'm looking forward to that. My son's looking forward to that, and his friends are currently looking forward to that because before they didn't even know what Dot Hack was.
That's actually kind of
It's a
funny.
shame.
Get
It's a
schooled,
shame that dot
nerds.
hack is. Yeah, you get schooled by a bomb. Um, dot hack is a classic series. Too. It was one of my favorite series growing up, especially in the PS2 era. I forgot the last one I played, but every time I saw it being teased, and this will age me greatly. And it was a magazine called PSN, it was PlayStation Magazine, transformed into another version of it. And every time I released information on any kind of dot hack games, it became my entire personality until the game came out and I got to play it. The story was always so good. The animations, especially for the time, were really wonderful. I always loved dungeon delving games, and that thing had too too many dungeons, in my opinion. But I hope to see a little bit of ingenuity now with this remake, because a few of the games did start getting kind of wash, rinse, repeaty towards the end of the series with the PS2 era. I haven't played the ones that they did for the 15-year anniversary, so I can't talk about those. Just the ones I remember. But overall, that series is fantastic, and I'm glad to see it finally getting some love again. So, thank you for bringing that up. I've been sharing that with everybody that I can put that picture in front of. Like, look, it's back.
Yeah, my jaw dropped when I saw that one screenshot of welcome back to the game, and I'm just like, oh, my feels. Why am I feeling these feels that I've never felt in a long time?
Something deep within me is arising.
And on top of games that are making more things coming out in the following year or so, did you hear about an honorable mention, but Pokemon's coming out with another game, Fire Emblem, and what was the other one? I forget. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy. We're on to like Final Fantasy Tree Fitty now. It feels like they just keep on coming out with more games. Hello. Hi there.
They don't really understand the final and the part of the Final Fantasy.
I'm just waiting for the collab of Final Fantasy meets Final Destination. Everybody dies.
I'll just be evil at that point. Let's make everybody die. Okay.
Just like, I mean, if you go that route, you just turn it into like a collaboration on top of that with Game of Thrones meets Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I just found out the date is coming out with a season 9 for that.
No.
Mm-hmm. It's
Oh
back.
no.
I
Oh
don't know what they're gonna
no.
do, but it's back. So,
The forecast is 15 inches of snow.
yes.
Careful, don't choke over there.
I'm finally finished. I'm done now. Um, you kind of you accidentally segued into it. The first thing I'm going to speak on is we kind of you talked earlier while I was stuffing the food in my mouth about Pokemon doing. I mean, Nintendo doing Nintendo things with Pokemon. Um, Nintendo Day is a week away. No, 6 days away now. It's on the 27th. It happens every year. They give us tidbits or teases about what they're going to do for the upcoming year in the world of Pokemon. Last year, the big thing was Legends ZA. It was a big hit. Everybody loved it. Yada yada yada. Haven't had any really big news or anything coming out since the Switch 2 came out, other than that one game. There's been leaks about the new Gen 10 games that have dropped recently around the internet. It's gonna be back to an island based adventure. Like you hop around islands like they did in Gen 7. Yeah, Gen 7 with Sun and Moon. I think it's like a continuation like of that area. Not a lot else about it, but people are already gearing up and getting excited to play those games, which is understandable. But Nintendo does what Nintendo does, and Nintendo apparently likes to milk a horse until until it's bone dry. And when the Switch 2 came out, they announced that they have the Game Boy Advance, I'm gonna say what it is, emulator on their thing, and you had to pay an extra monthly fee to be able to play some old school games, GameCube as well, like all these other things that came with that new subscription. They even released Pokemon Ranger, I believe. They one of them, Rescue Team. I can't think. I never played the game. I can't remember what it was, but they released that directly into the um, the library for that emulator, and they're releasing the Gale XD Pokemon game for the GameCube eventually. And those games are cult classics. People love them, and they were really so. You would think they would continue with that mindset, release different generations onto the thing that everybody's paying a subscription for. But nah, Nintendo decided, like, you know what? It's the 30th anniversary. Nostalgia is going to be in the air. Let's re-release a re-release as a port one more time. They're releasing Fire Red and Leaf Green on their eShop, not in the emulator. They're standalone games in their eShop. 20-year-old Game Boy Advance games. They're re-releasing as a port for $20 a piece. And
20-year-old games they want to charge $20 for.
correct. when they have games, like I said, the other Pokemon game they released on their emulator for both GameCube and Advance, the TCG game that was for Game Boy Color they released on there. Like they're okay with putting games like that on the the subscription base. But for some reason, they're like, nah, we're gonna make y'all pay $20 for the game that you've played. Let's see, the original release, Pokemon Yellow, the original re-release of Fire Red and Leaf Green, and let's not forget Let's Go Pikachu that came out not too long ago for the Switch One, which is the same exact damn game except with Pokemon Go physics. Nothing's been updated. Nothing's been added other than possibly Pokemon Home connectivity for Pokemon you can catch there. Whoopty damn do. But it's the same game, ported over. They're charging $20 a piece. Not for the bundle, not for both of them. $20 a piece.
That's just a rip-off at that point. Like, I don't understand the point of trying to charge that amount of money when you know you're liable to just cause people to go start sailing the seven seas by charging that amount of money.
I have multiple copies of those games on my computer right now. You can't pay me to go buy those games on the Switch 2 right now. Now I know there's a lot of Pokemon fans out there are just going to eat it up because they will. To them, it's nostalgia. To them, it's being able to play anywhere they want. And you know what? I ain't judging y'all for it. If that's what y'all want to do, go for it. But I am not going to be one to support this obvious cash grab on Nintendo.
Yeah, no thanks. You know what's really dumb?
If they would.
Sorry, go ahead.
But if they would do it the right way, then I'd be more inclined to buy it. And it's not just giving us the Fire Red and Leaf Green game. You should have released a remake or a redo of Gens 1 through 3 at maybe a $30 price point. If you would have done that, I would have been on board. I'm like, cool, I get Fire Red, Leaf Green, I get Soul Silver and Heart Gold, and I get Ruby and Sapphire. Absolutely. I'm down.
Don't forget Crystal. I liked Crystal the most.
Mm-hmm. Or at least give me a bundle of like those like middle games. Like give me Pokemon Yellow, give me Pokemon Crystal, give me Pokemon Emerald. That covers all 3 generations. I would have been fantastically happy with that situation. But unfortunately, Nintendo's penny pinchers say no. We need more. We need to squeeze as much money out of the Yellow Rat as we can. And why not do it on the 30th anniversary of the game that started it all? Well, 20th for this remake. So Nintendo doing what Nintendo does, and that does not bode well for releases of the future games that we want. We've been dying for a Gen 2 re-release, Gen 3 release, Gen 4, like all the way up until Alola. Especially Gen 5 is the generation that has gotten the least amount of love out of all the games. That's Black and White and Black and White. So we'll see what this precedent stands for. If maybe they're trying to if they're just doing it for these 2 games for the anniversary, and then having like a deal with the other ones, maybe. But this I smell snake from a mile away. They're just gonna nickel and dime you for every single game if they decide to release it, instead of doing that one big collection that we've all been wanting. The one thing that fans have actually asked for decades now. They're not gonna give it to us. They're gonna make us buy every single piece of it again in a port, an emulation, not even a hardcore copy. So.
You know what's funny about that whole thing? Is that if you look back at some very popular games from Microprose, there's a name most people haven't heard in a long time. If you look at XCOM Terror from the Deep or XCOM Enemy Unknown / UFO Defense if you're in America or Britain, you can buy all of the original Xbox games. Or not Xbox, XCOM games. So XCOM, UFO Defense, Enemy Unknown, Terror from the Deep, Apocalypse, Enforcer, and I believe there was one more, all in one bundle for $17 Canadian. Like, all of them in one shot. Or you can buy, like, Terror from the Deep for $5.50. or Apocalypse is sitting at the same price, like $5.50. So if they want to charge money for these things, that's fine, but you have to price it where it's more convenient to just buy the thing than to pirate the thing. And pricing it $20 is pricing it at piracy levels for a 20-year-old game. If you price it for $5, maybe $6, definitely not 10, you can get a lot more sales out of it because people will look at the convenience factor of, do I want to spend the time and effort to download the game, or just want to pay the $5 and buy it? And if you come out with the argument of, well, we just don't want anyone to pirate it, no matter the price, even at $5.50, someone's going to pirate the game. Well, that may be true, but they were never going to buy the game in the first place. People who want to pirate the game will pirate the game regardless of the price point. But if you make it convenient and a low enough price, the people that would otherwise be pirating usually look the other direction and say, you know what, it's faster for me just to pay for it. So I'll just pay for it.
Especially in this economy too. It's what's been going on with the tariffs and stuff like that. It's just kind of like you want us to buy like an overpriced old ass game.
Yeah. Like, know your audience. And apparently they don't know their audience.
You could say a little bit louder for the people in the back, because they 100% do not know, nor do they listen to the audience, ever. And it's been shown like this year after year after year after year.
Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous that companies still think you need to charge full price for a game, or even like over $20 for a game that's decades old.
Tell me, what is Palworld's monthly subscription fee?
Oh yeah, $0.
Not now. And their DLC is free too.
Yeah,
Crazy
weird.
hours. No, and they definitely don't try to announce $30 DLC day one either.
Yeah. One thing I do respect, like, I understand that companies need to make money, they need to make ends meet to keep infrastructure running and stuff like that. That's fine. Use microtransactions for cosmetics. People like hats. Give them hats. And
people like transmogs. Give them transmogs. If people want slut mogs, give them slut mogs. Oh wait, Pikachu has no need to wear a thong.
That was a sentence I never thought I would hear. Yet here we are.
What? I mean, if we go to OG Pokemon, freaking Pikachu was a thick.
Boy, you was chunky. You are correct.
Give him a Borat suit. I don't know. Give him a Speedo.
The thing is, they used to give Pikachu hella costumes in the old games. Like I think I have it on my Pokemon Ruby. I have the Luchador Pikachu. I don't know.
I mean,
how
even
I got
with
it.
Pokemon Go, there's a bunch of costumes and stuff like that. You can have, like, especially with the crazy, Pikachu collectors and stuff like that really like Pikachu. There's a niche for that. Do that. If you're gonna freaking make people bend over for money, freaking do that. If people do that for World of Warcraft transmogs all the time.
Yeah. Like I said, it boggles my mind when companies think that a full price or, $20+ for a game that's decades old is a smart idea. I just don't understand that mentality, because all you're doing is encouraging piracy. You might as well say, just pirate my game. And like I said before, like, there will be people who pirate the game even at, a $5 or $6 price, but that's because they were going to do it anyway. It's so easy to not screw yourself out of money. It actually breaks my brain seeing how bad people are at pricing things, because they just either don't care or don't pay attention to their audience.
And I'll give you a perfect example of how Nintendo could have made buttloads of money with these old games. Street Fighter is a huge title for many generations, from the original game all the way to the Street Fighter 6 that we have now. And there has been a ton of crossover games, from Street Fighter Tekken, Capcom versus Marvel vs. Capcom, so on and so forth. And for a long time, there were a few games that people loved that you could not get because of software limitations and them not in licensing agreements and whatnot. Well, recently they had come out with the 30th year collection, I believe it was. I have it right in front of me. Yeah, Street Fighter 30th edition collection, and it has Street Fighter One, Street Fighter Two. It even has games that you probably have never heard of, like Darkstalkers and stuff, inside of this big old collection. They have Street Fighter Alpha. They have Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and not 3, but 2. Like, they gave the
Nord,
people what they wanted. Huh.
Nord. The only
Hi.
thing I'll say is I'm pretty sure that open a lot of opportunities if they put Felicia as a DLC in Fortnite.
I'm saying,
Ooh.
don't worry about it.
Meow.
I
God
mean, we've
damn it.
already got Cammy and Chun Li. I don't see why we couldn't have Felicia or Morgan. I'm down with Morgan too. But
Yeah. But then you'll have a lot of jiggle physics.
well, no, they'll just nerf them like they put Cammy in pants. So
No.
they did. She has pants on. She doesn't have her normal Cammy outfit. Shame, but it's for the
Shame.
kiddos, so you can't blame them too hard. But that's an example of a company realizing their fan base, knowing what their people want, and they gave it to them. Nintendo would never, and I mean would never, do this unless they want to surprise us here in 6 days. Which they've already screwed the pooch on that, releasing Fire Red and Leaf Green the way they did. Like I would gladly and then the Street Fighter game I think is only $30 for all those old games. That's generations of games with generations of memories for $30.
I mean, look how Sega did theirs with the Sonic Mega Collection.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're gonna tell
But
me Pokemon is better than, Sonic? No.
no. And the fact that they just can't come like $30 is a beautiful price point for all the old generations, 1 through 5. I wouldn't even consider 6 and 7 in that bundle. Give us 1 through 5 in a one collection for $30, and that would have been perfect. No complaints. Good job, Nintendo. But no, they're going to probably nickel and dime every single generation from here to Alola if they do it this way. So Nintendo strikes again, and I will be gladly looking forward to Power 1.0's release.
Hell yeah, buddy.
I mean, they must
Uh,
think that they're like what is it, Warhammer 401k or something like that. Uh, And at least then, freaking at least Warhammer has figures. What is, it's not like Pokemon has like Warhammer figures or anything like that. I mean, they have Pokemon cards, but you know,
so does Power World now coming up.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
buddy. Yep.
Yeah, they announced they're creating a Power World card game.
That's
I
too
hope they have
funny.
loot cards
That,
for Pal World.
I can't wait.
They
I hope so
really
too.
want to take it to Nintendo, don't they?
Oh, they are the leading role of pettiness, and I am enjoying every single second of it.
And
I
honestly, they can't get angry because one, you have the original playing cards, and then you also have like Magic the Gathering. Didn't Magic the Gathering come out before Pokemon?
Oh yeah, Magic the Gathering's been
Yeah,
out for
absolutely.
decades.
So if they try to do like, well, we have our monster creatures on a card, like, okay,
Yeah, like
what?
holy shit. I love how bad Nintendo is. Like it's
Oh, it's terrible.
embarrassingly bad, but funny at the same time.
Oh, speaking of Nintendo and trying to do patents, something recently happened with Valve that actually is going to hurt Nintendo's case with Power World.
Mm,
Uh,
good.
let me let me find that. It was this. I know I saved it. Please tell me it's in here. There it is, Valve. Okay, so the lawsuit is there's a company that um it's called Display Technologies, I believe it's called, they were like they're the people that Valve purchased a license for in perpetuity to use their patent to like do distribution on their platform for games. The owner of the company is apparently a real douchebag and just buys up all these patents and just spends all day just suing people for using them. Kind of like
Hmm.
Nintendo, but on a small scale.
Oh, so like a
His
patent
name
troll from
is
back in the early 2000s.
yeah, his name is Lee M. Rothschild, and
Hmm.
he's infamous for going after people for things that he's done. Um, he's had over 100 issued patents, and people who use them can be. He goes after them if he just wants money out of them. Well, it turns out because of the agreement that the owner of Valve made day one with these people for this patent, that the license and contract that they signed up for was done so this stuff couldn't happen down the line. And so the guy was trying to retrospectively sue Valve for this patent, even though they have it documented that they had a contract where they could use it in perpetuity.
Hmm.
So with that and these false like retro patent law trolls, not only did he lose hundreds of thousands of dollars to Valve for this, all it does is give a case for Power World more to go against Nintendo in the ongoing lawsuit for those patents. So, hand over fist, but Nintendo is getting their asses handed to them, and
Good.
that definitely didn't help. When I saw that, I was like, ooh, yes, add more fuel to the petty. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Hell yeah. Like,
So,
screw you, hippies.
Great. Now there's going to be a new Pikachu, broadcast Pikachu.
that's it. Homeless Pikachu.
What?
Pikachu, Pikachu shaking a can. Can we have more money for the DLCs, please?
Oh no. Jesus.
What?
That's actually kind of funny. So in other news, I don't know if you guys heard, but Phil Spencer is going away.
What?
I think
So
that
Phil
I think that was
Spencer
something else.
is the head of Microsoft Game
Yes, that was.
Studios. He is the
That
CEO.
was
He
on
is
that
out
too.
the door. He's retiring from Microsoft. And Sarah Bond, I don't know who she is, but apparently she's also leaving. I think she's a senior executive vice president of something. But what's going to happen is Asha Sharma, I hope I pronounced that name right, is currently the president of Microsoft Core AI. They're going to take over Microsoft Game Studios. So expect Copilot to pop up while you're playing Halo or Call of Duty, asking if you want assistance in taking your next shot, and it'll be there to tell you that was a really good shot. That was a very good snipe. Would you like to learn more? Fuck off. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
happening.
So the downward trend of not only Microsoft but Xbox is going even further down. Like it's going down, down,
Oh
down,
yeah,
down.
like
From
they're
where
racing to the bottom of their own barrel at this point.
It was
And
it was interesting because I had dinner with my son today, and over dinner we were discussing things and the whole going back to the whole modding stuff. And he was talking about like, well, maybe I can, create something myself. I'm like, yeah, you'd be a good, you know, you'd be the next Bill Gates if you did that. And he's like, wait a minute, Mom, don't say that. He was on the list.
well, you
I was
don't
like,
have to be like him in that way. You can be like him in the entrepreneurial thing and starting your own business
yeah,
and
I know,
making
but he
million.
was like, Mom, out of all the people, don't name him as the first innovator, please.
Well, also unless there's actual like criminal evidence or like evidence of criminal wrongdoing, just being there, I mean, yeah, guilty by association, but that's also not really fair because it's kind of a bad take to go with.
Well, that's what the kids are going with.
Yeah. Like I understand it's atrocious and horrifying and awful, but at the same time, you can't vilify everybody for having their name on there because people would have been there invited to the island without knowing because you're not going to open up that horrendous kind of stuff to just anyone. Like you're gonna make sure the people that you're opening up that portion, like the back room to, are the ones that are gonna play the ball the way you want them to. If you're being a horrendous person. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan of guilty by association. It negatively impacts people who very legitimately may not have known what was going on. Now, if they knew and they participated, well, then you just melt them at the stake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry
On the
for derailing.
No, you
no,
good.
no, that's
You're
good.
good. But yeah,
We like chasing us some rabbits around here.
yeah. Phil Spencer is finally gonna leave. 38 years at Microsoft, most of them spent ruining the gaming section.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy to see that he's gone. So to complement the happy news, the sad news I had is that Sega co-founder David Rawson uh, unfortunately passed away.
Mm.
This back in on Christmas Day actually last year. I completely missed this earlier this month, but yeah, he was 95 years old. He was, like I said, the co-founder of Sega, and yeah, I mean, we all remember Sega, all the different game systems they had, all the games they still make today. Like, it's a huge impact that company's had on a lot of people's lives. So it's unfortunate to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So pour one out for the homie. But that's really all the
And
news I had. Kurt, did you have stuff for this week?
I already mentioned mine, but
Yeah.
I was going to say pour one out for the hedgehog.
Ah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Hell yeah.
eat a chili dog in his memory. I do have one other thing I could throw in.
Sure.
It's on the lines of the quickest race to the bottom in terms of gaming and technology.
Uh huh.
We have everything going on with the AI head taking over gaming and Xbox, which is just making me more and more happy that I've not never personally purchased a system from them myself. um, Sony is not too far behind. They are pushing the whole "you don't need to own anything" narrative.
Oh.
They're they're announcing a subscription-based model to play their games off the cloud without having to have a system.
Oh, I'm sure that's
Oh,
going to go over well.
I do have something too.
Yeah.
Did you notice that there was like an outage for like AWS?
No, but I know Microsoft was having issues earlier this month, like
So
significant issues.
recently, apparently there's suspect they're suspecting something like an AI coding bot took down the AI AWS stuff because they said that hey, this code looks wrong or something, so it wiped it out. But Amazon said AI coding bot did not take down AWS, but Amazon's cloud was hit by two outages caused by AI tools last year.
It's too funny.
Shocker.
It really just
AI.
demonstrates how vulnerable AI or like modern infrastructure is to AI.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't think that'll be ever the end of the story there because I'm sure we'll hear more of it as
Pretty
time
much,
goes on.
supposedly AI said, "Hey, this person's code sucked," and deleted it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why we pay quality assurance people who are humans and know this shit.
And the fact that
Yeah,
this bubble's getting so thin right now, it's ridiculous. Like they've lost billions of dollars on AI over the past year, and they're looking to lose more and run out of funding for AI products by 2027. So there's that. That's not helping things because, like, where did you think money was going to come from with AI? Like, people are using it to look up recipes on Google for the vast
there's nothing wrong
majority
with
of money.
that.
Hmm?
There's nothing wrong with looking up recipes and stuff like that, honestly. I mean,
No,
No,
no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, like, how are they expecting to make a profit with AI, especially with them buying up all the RAM and all these resources to power their AI bots, but the bots really can't. do much.
No, like,
So I don't know.
so the biggest problem with AI stuff is that if it hasn't been trained on a specific solution to a very specific problem, it does what's known as a hallucination, where it makes up an answer. And if you want to effectively use AI, you have to tell it to not make up answers. Then, so what I do when I have to use AI every now and then, the first thing I do is, first sentence is, do not use human style platitudes. Don't tell me I'm so good. Don't tell me that was a really smart question. Yada yada. Fuck off with that. You're a machine. Act like it. Second off
Hmm.
is provide matter of fact replies only. And then the third is provide direct links to references only. And I have been able to minimize the number of hallucinations I've had to deal with AI fucking things up by just those three directives. Seems to make it behave in a way that I would expect the machine to work properly. Like, if it doesn't know the answer, it does not make up the answer, which is good. But I found that's the only way to do it, because when you just use AI and say, hey, what's this? More often than not, it can hallucinate an answer, and you'll never know unless you're telling it to not be a dumbass. Because we're really right back where we started, where computers were only as smart as the people using them. AI is only as smart as the people using them or using it. And
Oh,
if people
I
don't know
think
how to use it effectively, they're going to have problems.
think one of the things that I'm facing now with what in my current life is because of AI, but it's work related, but I'm not going to get into it. But I'm thinking that's part of the issue that I'm having right now.
Oh, I would not be surprised.
Nope.
I
And
think
it's only
there's
going to get
a.
worse.
Sorry?
I was going to segue to something else, but go ahead and finish your statement.
I don't even know where I was going with that, but it's all good. I did have one last thing I did find. Ever heard of a
Okay.
publisher called Finji?
No.
They're the company behind a game called Overland. And they're making a game called Usual June. They've also made Night in the Woods and Tunic. They are in a very unenviable position. People are making ads for the game on TikTok, which on the surface is like, hey, great, cool, people are advertising our game. The problem is how the ads are being AI generated and they're racist as hell.
Oh
Oh.
no.
Yeah. So
Mm,
TikTok knows that this is happening, but they've pretty much not done anything about it. Initially, like IGN reported on this, and they got a chance to review some of the exchanges between the developer slash publisher and various TikTok customer employees and or customer support employees. And at first, they were like, "Oh yeah, these are bad ads. They're happening. It's AI generated. This is awful." Then they said, "No, no, no, these don't exist. I don't know what you're talking about." And after it got bumped around a little bit more, they're like, "Oh yeah, I guess maybe these do exist." So far, they've done nothing,
and they're
and
probably
not a
looking to do.
single rep from TikTok has contacted them to tell them if and when those ads will be taken down. Like, good God. TikTok is a terrible platform. Most social media platforms are awful these days.
Oh yeah,
And
it's gone downhill for sure.
yeah, like I don't understand why you would deny the existence of the ads other than to say, "Oh, look, we're squeaky clean. We don't have racist stuff." Bitch, please, you do? Deal with it. Like, god damn.
That would take effort on their part though, and they just want to collect money. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but it is wrong to sit there and deny it. Their denials remind me of someone else who denied the existence of a problem years ago, and that company goes by the name of Apple. I don't know if you
Oh.
remember the
Mm,
time when Apple was grappling with um,
Could
a
have gone to bed.
virus. Like there was a
Oh,
significant virus going around on the Apple OS. I think this is still when the iMac was popular. I think it goes that back that far. But basically, there was a virus that had been written directly for Linux, Linux slash Unix, which is what Mac OS runs on. And at the time, Apple was always saying, hey, look, we're the greatest operating system ever. We're the greatest hardware ever because there's no viruses for us, unlike the filthy Microsoft plebeians who get viruses all the time. We don't even have antivirus because we don't need it. We're that good.
Hmm.
Famous last words. Because they had for years been running on security through obscurity, meaning they just hoped nobody did anything to them and left it at that. Because if you don't make yourself a target, you're obviously less likely to be targeted. However, they opened their mouth and basically issued a challenge, basically for who wants to fuck us up, and the internet, of course, was more than happy to oblige.
I
So
can just picture a hacker just sitting there like holding my beer.
yeah, that's essentially what happened, and it was probably one of the dumbest things you could possibly say. Like, you don't sit there and challenge hackers to say, oh, there's no viruses for our stuff because we're amazing. Well, there might not be right now, but give me a few minutes and there will be. Like, holy
Yeah,
crap. It was funny because what was happening is people were calling customer service and saying, yeah, this is happening to my computer and I don't know what's going on. And initially, Apple was saying, no, there's nothing wrong with your machine. You're full of shit. And eventually they cut those people out of support entirely. Like if those customers called with any problem, if you so much as mentioned one of the symptoms of that virus, they terminated your Mac OS support. And they got in a lot of trouble for that. But yeah, I that whole thing reminds me of that. Sorry, segue story.
no, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. It's like on the along the lines of no, we don't have pedophiles on our site. We're a kids gaming website. Looking at you, Roblox. But
Actually,
yeah,
they're not a website; they're a video game.
my bad. Pushes
Actually.
glasses up on nose. Um, the only other thing I had was kind of circling back to the Sony comment I made about them wanting you to rent your PlayStation Access. Apparently, um, Daddy Bezos is thinking the same thing. With everything going down with the RAM shortage and whatnot with the AI bubble, it gets very expensive to make custom computers or any kind of technology that runs on any kind of RAM that they're using for these mega centers for the AI. So prices have gone up dramatically for RAM right now. So he saw what Sony was doing. I don't think he's using Sony as an example. I'm just trailing a story into him. And he wants to do the same thing to where you can rent laptops and access to the internet and stuff through
I
Amazon.
heard about that horse shit.
Like there's so many things wrong with that because they can 100% like you don't own that laptop. We own the
well, I
laptop.
could I could
And
see I could see it happening if it was rent to own.
that's probably not where they're heading for. It's more like if they don't like what you're doing, they can shut off your access at any time they want. Kind of like what
Yeah.
Nintendo would do with their access to their Nintendo if they see you tampering with their system anytime they want. It's all
Um,
about control.
I heard about that, and it was also the fact that they didn't want, or they wanted complete control over what. Yeah, it was like what you're saying. What they wanted complete control over it because they saw revenue stream availability in just saying you don't own your stuff and you have to subscribe to it now.
Correct.
Like, God fucking damn it.
And that's why I am now on Linux. I officially made the switch.
Nice. I don't know if I'm ever gonna make the switch. Maybe one day, but there's still
Or
too
are you
much of
gonna
my
make
software that doesn't work on Linux.
the Nintendo Switch next?
That
It's
was well
funny.
done.
I haven't
You're
turned on my
welcome. I love that pun. Now you can drink. Cheers, my
Yep.
dudes.
Cheers. That was it for me. That was my last little tidbit. Because
Your Nord, a nugget of Nord.
yep, my Nord nuggets are now are non-existent. So
Nord nuggets. That's a sentence I never in my life expected to hear.
I didn't expect
Uh,
to say it, but I just saw the low hanging fruit and yanked. So
it is
um,
also a sentence I hope to never hear again.
you never know what could happen on this show.
This is
Now I will
very
say
true.
this: this is my first show after switching to Linux. And did y'all notice I haven't disconnected tonight?
Yeah, weird.
I think
Oh,
but I've done research, and apparently Windows 11 laptops have had that problem for a while, and Microsoft refuses to address it.
I mean, that's not unheard of.
Like the instant I swapped over to Linux, I've not had a single drop in my connection since.
Jesus.
So something was going on with Windows 11, some of the bloatware they got on there, or something that was just hindering consistent connection because everybody else in the house had perfect connection except for my ass. So it had to
that
have it
sounds
was
like what's going on with my stuff right now. Because I tried to stream to stuff to IME. I'm trying to stream programming all while trying to play, World of Warcraft or something. But if I have another thing open, guess what? The stream quality goes down to like 4 frames per second or something, and it's total ass.
Yep.
if something in the system is bottlenecking it, and then it was getting to the point where I was disconnecting on a regular basis.
I
So
remember.
I loved being in the middle of a conversation, and then all of a sudden I'm about to say something.
That was well done, sir.
But yeah, I'm glad. I've been happy about it ever since I changed over. Everything that I'm doing currently still works, ranging from games to streaming. I'm still learning how the structure works in Linux, but I love to learn, so it's going to be a nice little adventure for me. My next step is figuring out how to video edit on this bad boy now that I have on this system. So that's my next step. So I'm excited to
Nice.
see where the Linux
Yay.
future takes me. Fuck Microsoft.
With a hammer.
Yas.
Da.
So if
Cool.
nobody else got anything else to do, we can do some round table action, see what's going on for the week.
Hell yeah. So, since you brought it up,
Um,
what are you doing this week, Nord?
let's see. For me, how does this week look? Right now at work, today was my first day off in the past 19.
Jesus.
We're installing some new gear, and I'm the only guy that they can rely on to like get it up and running, uh, because me. So I've been there almost every day for the past 3 weeks, getting the machines going, getting the QC and Cal going. It's a long, tedious process, and it's going to continue on until probably the middle of March. So it's kept me busy, but I have not allowed it to keep me from still trying to stay consistent. Streaming, I'm trying to get it to 2 to 3 days a week. This past week, I only had the one day, which I did last night. I did some